everyone, Tactical here with another tutorial video. This time it will be for ladder operations for EmergeNYC. Here we are in Tiller Ladder 75. There are three different types of ladders that we have spawned in, and that is Ladder 66, Tower Ladder 68, and then here with Tiller Ladder 75. One of the unique things with this truck is as you drive, you can use the X and C keys, and it will turn the rear, as you can see here. So if you're trying to make a bit of a tighter turn, you can actually turn the back end at the same time, so you're not having to take quite as wide as a turn as you normally would. So it's a lot smoother of a turn. So that's really the main difference with the tiller. So we'll go ahead and park this here. And we'll start with the basic operations of actually getting the outriggers down and then deploying the ladder. So all these are going to have different ways they deploy the outriggers. For Ladder 66, it's going to be in the back here. And the first thing you're going to want to do is hit the right arrow key that is next to your / and that's going to bring the outriggers out to the side. And you're going to want to hold that button down until it goes all the way out and stops. Once you've done that, you want to hit the left arrow key down, and we're going to do the same thing and go ahead and let those go all the way down until it stops. And then to get on, you're going to get on the back right here, hit F to climb. If you don't see a menu, hit your X key. Typically it would pop up with a menu. It's not going to on this one for some reason though. To deploy the ladder, you're going to hit the S key to raise it up. W key will be raising it back down. The Q key will bring it in, and the E key will extend it. A will be to go to the left, and D to go to the right. So one of the biggest things that you want to actually make sure that you do when you are deploying the ladders is you can see the orange tip there on the front of most of the ladders. When you are bringing them up to a building, you want to make sure that you actually have a decent little portion. That's a little too high there. You want to make sure you have enough there on the top so that you can actually get back on from the roof. Once you have the ladder in place where you want it, you're going to hit the C key, and that will be to climb up and down. It'll be the same key once you're on top of the roof to get back onto the ladder and climb down onto the platform. So we'll go ahead and jump off this one, and we'll go over to the tiller ladder. For this, it's going to be near the middle here between the cab and trailer hookup. Going to hit F to climb again. And there we go. Now make sure you have the menu when we hit the X key. The outriggers are going to be the same thing, but this one's going to be a little different. All you have to do is hit the right arrow key, and they'll extend themselves. You don't have to hit left and then right. And then, hey guys, now that we're over at engine 30, we pulled it up a little bit. We're going to pull a relay line off the back here. I want to make sure you have at least one section. We're pretty close here, so we can probably decouple this right here. Typically, you'd want to hook up to a hydrant, but just for this tutorial, we're just going to hook up with the tank water that we have. You're going to come over to the right side and hit the E key to put the hose on the engine. Go back to this side, hit the E key to pick it up. And then in the middle here, you'll see the hose connection for the tower ladder. And we'll go ahead and place that there. And once those are hooked up, you can go ahead and come over to your pump and press P to turn on your pump. Come back over here. You can... Looks like the line is charged. So we'll go ahead and jump in our bucket here. So you can go back over to the bucket and hit your F key, and then you can use the same keys as the other ladders, W, A, S, and D to go left, right, up, and down, and the Q and E keys to retract or extend the ladder. So we'll go ahead and pull this up over this way. And once you have this in a position that you want, you can left click, and you're actually going to have water start flowing. Just like so. And you can use the arrow keys, left, right, up, and down, for the direction that you want the flow to be going. And since there's no way to climb down right now, if you want this to keep going, you'd have to just hit F and fall out. And you're somehow fine, but that's how you do it. But as you can see, if you come over here, we're very quickly running out of water because we don't hook up to a hydrant, so I'd highly suggest hooking up to a hydrant if you're ever going to use a master stream like that. So now that we've covered the relaying for Tower Ladder 68, we'll go to the types of ladders that these have. if you open the back compartment here, you're going to have 4 different ladder sizes. If you hit the number 1 key, you're going to have a 12-foot extension ladder. If you hit the number 2 key, you're going to have a 35-foot extension ladder. The number 3 key will have a 20-foot straight ladder, and the number 4 key will have a 10-foot straight ladder. So we'll go ahead and pull these ladders out and deploy them. We touched on this in the engine company operations video. For this, you're going to want to go to where you want it, kind of get it somewhat close to the building, hold the right mouse button key to start where you're going to put it down, hit the F key to place it on the ground, and then use the Q and E key just like you do with the extension ladders, or I'm sorry, but the mounted ladders on the trucks to actually make them go up and down. And since this one is pretty short, that's the size this one is going to go, you're going to hit the F key, it's going to drop it, and normally it would drop into the building. I'm not sure why it's stopping like that, but we'll go ahead and grab the other ladders here, go back over here, hit the number 2 key, and this is going to be our 35-foot extension ladder. And we're going to do the same process with the right mouse button, the F key, extend it with the Q key, and hit F again to drop it. And honestly, I have no idea why they're not falling into the building. I think they're just kind of balancing for some reason. And we'll grab the 20-foot straight ladder with the number 3 key. As the name applies, these are just straight ladders. These do not extend. So all you're going to do is hit the right mouse button, hit the F key again, and you're going to drop it. And we will do the same thing with the last one, which is going to be a 10-foot straight ladder, which will be your number 4 key. We'll come over here, hit the right mouse button, hit the F key, and hit the F key again. And that one broke the window. Perfect. Alright, now we're going to go into some forcible entry and the gear that the ladder trucks carry on them. So if we come over to tower ladder 6-8, we're going to open up these compartments. A lot of these compartments don't have stuff that are really usable, but the only things usable right now are your Halligan tool, which we just grabbed, the K12 saw in here that we're going to grab, which it'll automatically start as you pull out. As you're grabbing everything, it's going to be the G key for all of this. We're going to try and find our water can, if we can. Can't remember where it's kept on this rig, or if it has one. Press B to... If you have anything in your hands, you can press the B key and it holsters it, so you're not carrying it around with it running. Where is our water can? This vehicle, there it is. It's near the outriggers. So we'll go ahead and go over the forcible entry with the circular saw, or the K12 saw. As you can see, we already opened one over there. If a door has a lock on it like this, you're going to have to use the K12 saw to actually force your way into it. So if you've put it away, you can hit the 5 key again, it'll pull it out and start it. You're going to want to walk up to the door, hold down the right mouse button, look up a little bit, hold down the left mouse button, and move the saw until you can see the sparks actually coming off of the lock. And you'll sit there and hold it down until the lock actually comes off, and then the door should automatically open for you, just like that. And then we have access to the fire that we're trying to fight in there. Go ahead and press the B key to put that away again. If you have other doors, such as a small door like this, you're going to want your Halligan tool by pressing the 1 key. You could press F on any door to check and see if it's locked or not. If it is locked, you can use the Halligan by using the left mouse button to click in. Firefighter will get a purchase point. Once he's stopped like that, you could start clicking the left mouse button. He will make attempts to actually force the door open, which it failed that time for some reason. Let's see if we can try and get through this other door. They were having a problem with this building with some of the doors. Let's see if they might have fixed this one. If they didn't, it's the same steps. On some of the doors, you can have issues, but most of the time they're going to open up by sitting here forcing the door with F. Yeah, we're going to have the same issue. So just follow that with the Halligan tool though, and you'll do fine. So we're going to come over here to tiller ladder 75 and get up on the roof for ventilation. So come up here at the F key, make sure our ladder is where we want it up here, and then hit the C key to actually climb to the top. You want to make sure your ladder is a little bit away from any flames that are actually coming from the roof, so you do not injure your firefighter. Alright, once we get up to the top here, you can find a place, doesn't really matter where, you want to actually ventilate the roof. So we'll go ahead and choose here, and it's going to be just like trying to cut the locks off the buildings. You're going to hit 5 first, pull out your saw, make sure it's started up. You're going to hit the right mouse button to wind up the saw, and then the left mouse button to start cutting. As you hold down the left mouse button, you'll typically see lines start appearing where you're cutting. There we go, there's one popping up. Sometimes they're kind of hard to see, like especially on this roof. And currently you really don't have to move anywhere. You can just sit here and you can keep holding the button until the hole is actually completely cut in the roof. So we'll just do that. It may not look like anything's happening. On most of the roofs you can actually see the lines popping up. This one is kind of hard to see them. And as you can see there, we actually made a vent hole, and we have smoke coming through the vent hole that we cut. And I believe if you keep going a little bit longer, it should extend that to the other side. Normally cuts like 2 little squares like that on each side, and it'll pop open 2 holes if you do it right. Okay, yeah, there we go, we're cutting. And you can put pretty much as many vent holes as you want. Typically, you're only really going to need 1 to actually clear up the smoke a bit. And you don't have to worry about falling through the roof. There's not that kind of mechanic yet. It's just going to take the smoke out of the building for you. And once we get up to the ladder, you can press B to put the saw away again. Hit C to jump back on the ladder and start climbing down. Alright, and once the fire is actually extinguished, pretty much everything's just going to be the exact opposite. If you want to bring the ladder down, go ahead and hit the Q key. Bring the ladder back over to its default position, back on the back of the rig here. Lower it down, and then we'll hit the left arrow to bring our outriggers out. Hit F to get back off again. And we would be done and could drive away in the tiller truck we wanted to right now. And that's pretty much it for the ladder truck at this time. One other thing to return the ladders, covered this in the engine company as well. All ladders are the same. You can hit the T button and it'll pick up the ladder. And hit the T button again where you got it from, and it'll put the ladder away. There's not a whole lot really for the ladder trucks right now. Their main purposes are forcible entry, getting the locks off the doors, doing the ventilation. The water cans are nice to have, and they're a lot larger than the engine trucks, so they can be very good for blocking off traffic if you want to use them for that. But that is it for now. We're probably going to do some short tutorials / just overview videos of some of the special units like Squad 28 and I believe it's Rescue 9. They have some different tools on them. The Squad has like the K12 saw, but it mainly runs as an engine. So that'll be the next thing that we have coming up. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below, and have a good day. Thank you.